Okay, we are now live. All right, guys. Well, I think for our agenda today, the four teachers, we just wanted to take a minute and just provide some brief remarks on how excited we are to have you here, how proud we are to have you finish. And then we're basically just going to take turns. Mr. Broderick's students are going to go first, and then my students, and then Mr. Hypes's, and then last but certainly not least, Mr. McKinney's students will be the closing act. Bring down the house with the encore performance. You guys will just have a few minutes one at a time, talk to us a little bit about your project. If you prepared a presentation or something that you want to put up on the screen, you can do that. Or if you have a video you want to show us or something like that, you certainly can do that. But if you just want to talk with us about what you did, that's totally cool as well. So I'll just go ahead and get started. I'm so excited to see Braden here, and I'm so proud of you that you've got your project finished. Thank you for sharing your document with you. I have several other students that also finished their projects and have shared stuff with me. So whether or not they're on the screen by the end of the presentation tonight or not, I'm really glad they were able to see things through and finish under the given conditions. So congratulations, guys. So yeah, Mr. Broderick, do you want to say a few things?
Oh, absolutely. I am continually amazed at how resilient you students are in this situation with COVID and being hybrid. It's quite amazing. And then to be on I look at your topics and what you've done, and I'm just like, wow. And I appreciate that Jonah and Zoe and Gavin, that you're here. I know that Yvonne and Alejandro, they've finished it, they've completed it, and they haven't responded to my remind, but I believe that they're going to show up. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but I'm looking forward to hearing your presentations.
Awesome. Mr. McKinney.
Yeah, I'm super excited. Big shout out to Sierra, Walter, Maria for completing their personal project and working with them throughout the entire process. Super proud of you all. Thank you, Mr. Broderick, for bringing up the idea, the fact that we are not an idea, but the fact that we are in a pandemic, and to see you all pull through in a major way and complete the personal project is crazy. So shout out to you all and congratulations. And I'm super excited to dive into these presentations. Let's get them started.
All right, Mr. Hypes.
Oh, just kind of in general for everybody. Katie and Naomi, I'm excited to see what you guys are going to present. But for all of you, really, be proud of the work you put into this project to get to this point. You had to do a lot of this kind of on your own. We only really met like 4 days. So you should be extremely proud of yourself. And I'm excited to hear what everybody has to present.
All right, awesome. Mr. Broderick, if you don't mind, kind of having your students lead the way, please.
Well, I want to give props to you, Gavin, because you kept that you originally, Gavin was going to be doing his in AP US History, the History Day project. But Gavin, when did that actually get introduced in class?
It got introduced after we were supposed to have it done, so I had to kind of rush the project, but I got it done.
I know that's why I'm like, wow, because you were just like, when are they going to do this? When are they going to do this? And you had these backup projects ready to go, and so I'm giving you props for that. I don't know. Do you want to get started?
I mean, I could. I don't really know what to talk about because, I still ended up doing NHD even after all that, and I ended up making a poster board. And this year's theme was communication throughout American history. So I decided to do my project about how the radio and the television had an effect on presidential campaigns and what that did to the country.
That's cool.
What'd you find out?
Well, I found out a lot when they were first introduced in the early 1920s area. Voter turnout started to go up way higher, especially during such a hard time in the Great Depression. That was kind of surprising. It's and a lot of ads were created for radios and televisions to get them widespread throughout the US, and that's why it had such a major effect so quickly, because in a time where everyone was kind of more poor, there wasn't as much entertainment, so radios were a good way for people to kind of communicate with each other and meet up in groups. And as a result, they would hear things on the news and then they would be more educated when they came in to vote in the later part of the year.
That's great. I'm looking forward to reading your report here. I started it. It's on my screen right now.
Gavin, can I ask you a question real quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why did you choose that topic?
I chose that topic because I've always kind of like been interested in like how radios and TVs kind of work. So that's why I was sure to include like an image of both like the setup of a early radio and like how a TV was constructed. And then I was also just kind of trying to tie it into communication. So that's why I put presidential elections, because obviously that's a major thing in American history, and it also just ties in with communication.
Okay, awesome. All right, thank you.
No problem.
Zoe, you want to take over? And I'm kind of curious because of what you did and your little snippet that you gave. But I'm always amazed at well, go ahead. Tell us what you did.
So for my project, I made my own original music album. And if you don't mind, I just like to show my favorite song from the album, since the whole thing would take way too long to play all the way through.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Okay. It says the host disabled screen sharing. Do you think that maybe?
Yeah, so let me see if I can change that. There we go.
All right, give me a sec here. Get it up. Okay, let me start it over. Can you let me know if you can hear it once it starts?
You got it.
Okay.
We can hear it.
I'm just a little spark at a telescope, staring out the sky, full of awe and hope. The galaxy's so big, and I'm so very small. No shuttle or rocket launcher, no way to see it all. I know the notion sounds dramatic, but I'll add in my confession that I want to know how it feels to be part of a real connection. Stargazing down below, open eyes, nothing to show. Society looks so big and bright, too bad I can't stare at the light. I speak a language no one knows, so often I'm left on my own to peer up at the stars alone, way down here from this tiny dome. This tiny dome, all I've ever known, all on my own, all on my own. The world is spinning, but I am standing still. In my little lookout, no purpose to fulfill. You know I'm out of touch with my reality. Locked out of something you're a part of, and I just can't find the key. I know I'm not the only one, but I'll add in my confession that I want to know how it feels to be part of a real connection. Stargazing at open skies, wandering wide open eyes. Am I not doing this right? I want to be part of that light. I speak a language no one knows, so often I'm left on my own to peer up at the stars alone, the same way I have always known. Down in this dome, I've always known I'd be alone. inside the void? Or am I a shooting star, coming close but still so far? Am I the silhouetted moon, trapped inside a pale cocoon? Or am I a satellite, flying solo out of sight? Or am I simply unwanted, unable to fit in anywhere? Life isn't some fantasy, I know the world is so unfair. I'm shy and awkward, I've always been on the outside staring in space no one can hear you scream. Is there more to this lucid dream? Stargazing on my own, almost like it's set in stone. I try to reach up towards that light, but I just can't win this fight. I speak a language no one knows, so often I'm left on my own to peer up from my little dome. That disconnected life I know, down in this dome. Rejection from, like I've always known, all on my own.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Zoe, if you can go back and share your screen with that and just scroll right through all the songs that you did. Show us all of them.
Okay, just a second. Let me get it back in full screen. Okay, do you want me to just like play like the first few seconds?
No, you if you want to, you can. I just want everyone to see
Okay.
that because the effort and the time, I'm just amazed.
Okay.
Because it truly is an album.
Yeah, how many tracks did you wind up with?
9. I had to scrap 1 though.
That's all. That's fantastic.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's crazy. Very, very cool.
And they're all original. I mean, that's just you didn't put this together last night. That's for sure.
Zoe, do you mind talking to us a little bit about the song Stargazing? Its inspiration, its genesis.
Sure. Out of all the songs, that one definitely took the longest to write, and it used the most effort. When I was creating the concept for the album originally, I knew that I wanted it to have something to do with both the sea, because first of all, I already had a song called Lifeboat that I'd written a few years ago. So I knew that I wanted some element of the ocean in it, but also the sky, 2 contrasting elements. I thought that would be really cool. So that gave me the idea for Stargazing, and the whole song is supposed to represent what it's like to be on the outside looking at something you want to be a part of.
That's awesome.
It's absolutely amazing.
Did you?
That's really cool. Is this something that you want to do as you get older, Zoe? Continue down this path of singing and songwriting?
Possibly. I'm looking into it.
You should stick with it, especially if you're passionate about it.
Definitely.
Did you create the album art?
No, my friend Maya Sturmer did. I made a sketch for it back before I even made the album, inspired by the song Lifeboat. And I knew I'm not very good at digital art, so I had to ask Maya to do it, and she definitely pulled through.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I know Maya and her family as well, so congratulations to her for her contribution. Really cool. Way to go.
Thank you, Zoe.
Thank you.
All right, and Jonah, your project is totally different. Again, to me, it's amazing because I don't think I could even. I mean, I have problems with English, let alone computer language, and so Java. Let's talk about Java.
For my project, I learned how to code in Java. I took an online course, and I was planning on like making something with it, but I didn't learn enough to do that. So I just took the course, and I got a course completed thing, and that was what I took a picture of for my evidence of completion. And I did that because I'm thinking about going into something like that in college and getting a job in that maybe. I'm not really sure yet, but that's a possibility.
What would be the use of Java? What
You
different
just,
types of
like Java particularly, or like all coding?
Java?
I don't really know how it's different, to be honest, but
Well, I'm asking, what can you do with it? Like, what can you create?
oh, you can make a bunch of stuff. Like you could make a game. Like that's what I was planning on doing, making a game with it. But like anything on computers really is coded with some language. So
And then what made you decide that you wanted to learn a computer language?
I'd always liked Scratch, which I did in a class in middle school, and I liked that. It was fun. I heard that it was a lot like coding, so I decided to actually learn real coding. And so I did that.
How hard was it?
It was harder than I expected, pretty hard, yeah. It was less similar to the Scratch website than I expected, but I could still see how it was the same.
Now, will you go on and eventually use it and create a game like what you had anticipated?
If I get more, like, if I learn more about Java, I could take a more advanced course, and I think I could, but not yet.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm like I said, I have issues just with English.
Well done, Jonah. Good job, man.
Okay, that's my other two. They completed it. I've seen it's in the folder, but I guess they're choosing not to show up and they're not answering my remind.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think it comes to me now. And so again, I'm in a similar situation, Mr. Broderick. I have a couple of students that did finish projects, but aren't here for whatever reason. But I do have one amazing young man, Braden, who did finish a project and who is here. So Braden, we'd love it if you don't mind talking to us a little bit about your project.
So I basically finished my project. I'm just trying to get everything turned in and situated. I'm just here to make sure I have everything turned in that I need. But anyways, for my project, I cooked pasta and yeah, I cooked pasta.
Would you mind telling us a little bit about the pasta you cooked?
So I cooked Alfredo
Okay.
Oh,
and I mean I ate it, but I would show y'all, but I just already ate it. So there would be no point of showing nothing there. So but yeah, I already ate the pasta, so I cooked Alfredo pasta. I came up with the idea because I don't know how I came up with the idea, but I just came up with the idea because I didn't think of anything else that I could do. So I just somehow thought about cooking pasta.
And how did you find the recipe?
Actually, you helped me with that part, but I just looked up recipes for pasta and it came up with 40 different recipes that I could use to cook it with.
And so did you tinker with the recipe at all, or did you cook it exactly the way it was described?
Um, I added a few things of my own on there, but when I had bought it from the store, there was like directions already on the back. So I kind of used like a mixture. I took some ideas off of the website and I just applied it. And I took some ideas off the website that I got and I applied it with the mixture of the recipe that was already on the back of it.
That's awesome. That's how you know you're a real cook, when you start messing with the recipe. That's the sign of a real effort. So how did it taste? What kind of Yelp review would you give your pasta?
If I had to rate it out of 10, I'd probably give it like a I'll probably give it like a good 8. Only because like I felt like I don't think this is really my fault, but like in like the pasta that it came in, I feel like they could have put more sauce in it because it was like it still tasted good, but like I just feel like I would just prefer more sauce, like more Alfredo sauce on it than just like just more sauce on it.
Oh,
But I would just add more sauce on it, but there wasn't just as much sauce as I would prefer it to be.
felt like it was a little dry, huh? You wanted more.
Yeah.
And so do you think you'll cook it again and try to like correct for that? And this next time make a better version of it?
Um, Maybe later on, but I want to learn how to cook like more things than just pasta. So I'll probably work on cooking other things because I need to learn how to cook for because I don't just want to be eating out every day. So,
Yeah. So one last question for you. Did anybody else in your house try it?
my dad tried a little portion of it. He said it was good. It tasted like pasta, of course, but I don't see how you could really mess up pasta like when it's basically already made in the package. But yeah, he said it tasted fine. It wasn't like it was like just completely nasty or anything.
All right. Well,
There
that's
was broccoli in it too, so
oh, okay. There you go.
Oh, okay. All right. A little broccoli in there.
All right. Well, thank you, Braden, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
okay, thank you. And okay, so now I can just share you my 5 pictures
Yeah.
in the form thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be in contact with you too, Braden. So we have some time to get everything turned in and all perfected. So I'll reach out to you, tomorrow to make sure you got everything you need. I know this is important to you, so we'll make sure we get you squared away. Cool.
Yeah, so I can stop by your room tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So should I wait till tomorrow to share or just do it now?
You can do it now, but I can talk to you tomorrow. I'm putting my room.
Because I'm over here struggling just uploading the pictures. Because like I'm plugging my charger into the side of my computer, but like I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I just sent you my office number, my office room number, so you can come by tomorrow anytime and we'll make sure we get you hooked up.
Okay.
You'll be good to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Hypes, let's turn it over to you.
All right. So we have 3 of our group members here. So I'm pretty excited to see what you guys want to talk about. Or once again, if you have anything on your screen you need to share, you should be able to share your screen now. But if you just want to talk about it, whatever you are comfortable with is cool with me. Katie, do you want to go ahead and get us started?
So for my project, I did a poster board, a 3D model. I got some else if I can just show that.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Yes, or is it too far away? I can't really tell.
I feel like we can definitely see what's on the board.
Easy now. I'm sorry. Okay, so my topic was the 7 wonders of the world, which include Machu Picchu, which is located in Peru, Chichén Itzá, which is in Mexico. Then we have Christ the Redeemer in Brazil, the Great Wall of China in China, Taj Mahal in India, and then Petra in Jordan, and the Colosseum, which is in Italy. So for Machu Picchu is a island dish that's located in Peru, and it's a very important geological site in order to learn about the olden days and the type of technology and clothing and jewelry that they used. Christ the Redeemer was made by a French artist and then was created originally in France, and then the parts were sent to Brazil, and then a Brazilian artist constructed it and made it even higher. And all the money was raised by the church. And then the Great Wall of China was meant as a defense mechanism that didn't completely work perfectly, but it now has become a very important tourist location for China. Taj Mahal was made for, it was a king or a ruler that had 3 wives. And when one of his wives died during childbirth, he created this gigantic tomb area for her to be buried. And he was supposed to create another one right next to it so he could bury himself, but his son took over and when he passed away, and instead they were buried next to each other. Petra is a kind of like house building that was created on the side of a mountain. So there you go. And one of the biggest problems was flooding because it's created in the middle of 2 mountains. So all the water just runs through it. So they were one of the beginning people that created like running systems for the water to be able to leave. And then we have coliseums, which were used as for theaters and also fights. And then for Taj Mahal, we have a 3D model of the building. And this took forever because there was like over 1,000 pieces.
So you had to put that together then, Katie?
And then we have books, one on Machu Picchu, and then one on ancient Rome. So yes, that was my project on the 7 wonders of the world. Yes.
Hey, that's really impressive. I really like the board you put together with all of your materials. That honestly reminds me of if it was like an in-person personal project. So that looks really awesome. If you could go visit any one of the 7 wonders, which one do you think you would pick?
Probably Petra, because I feel like it would be a very good new experience because it's kind of like in the middle of a desert mountain area. So you can see a lot of like camels, and it's also just pretty cool seeing something that was man-made, like with nature.
That's awesome. I'll be honest, you taught me quite a bit through that presentation. So thank you very much. That was really good. Naomi, would you like to go ahead and you can talk a little bit about your project if you want to show us what you put together? Whatever you would like to do is totally fine with me.
Okay. So I did a painting. I'm not a professional, but I think I did okay. So this is my painting. I don't know if you guys can see it. And so my project was about like appreciating aesthetics and also how like different details and paintings and pictures can like help to convey a whole different time period. Like certain details and certain things can make you like automatically know, okay, yeah, this is 50s, the 60s. So I tried to do that with like the wallpaper and like her hair and like her fashion. I tried to make it really like 60s-esque. And I wanted to do this because I like learning about aesthetics, especially like, you know, history and things like that. And I also, of course, love to paint and draw and things like that. So, yeah.
I think it looks really nice. I liked in your report you were talking about you wanted the 60s aesthetic. I cannot say I was around in the 1960s, but from everything I've seen, I think that looks fantastic.
Thank you.
Naomi, can I ask you a question, please?
Yes.
Yeah, I teach a philosophy class and we do a whole unit on aesthetics and art. And you also said you like history. So this is one of the questions we consider, and I'd love it if you could give me your brief answer. Do you think that history shapes the arts, or do you think the arts shape history?
I think history shapes the art because I think art is fueled by like what you're around in your environment. And like if you're around certain things, that's of course what's going to kind of inspire you. But I do think that there are some people, of course, who like step outside the box and kind of who paint things that are that weren't related to the time period, who are just that creative. But I think for the most part, the history kind of shapes the art and the motivation behind certain projects and things.
Naomi, that was an awesome answer in my philosophy class. That'd be perfect. You recognized it kind of goes both ways, but you think it's more one way than the other. That was really well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Naomi, thank you very much for sharing. Like I said, I think that looks fantastic. Anai, do you want to bring our group home for us?
Yeah, okay. My project is about my Hispanic culture, and I made a slide, so can I share that?
Yes, you should be able to, I think.
Okay. Okay, so my cousin and I, we did a presentation together, and ours was about our Hispanic culture, and on these slides, we're talking about our holidays. And the first slide is about Dia de los Muertos. Dia de los Muertos is Day of the Dead. It's a Mexican holiday we celebrate each year for our loving family who passed away. We decorate the table. It is called ofrenda. We put food like bread, fruits, their favorite dishes and drinks, candles, flowers, and put their pictures up, decorate their grave. And this is holiday is Los Reyes Magos. Los Reyes Magos is when the three wise men came to visit baby Jesus to bring him several gifts for him. And we celebrate that by bread. So when we cut bread, there's like a little baby Jesus, like on the picture that's shown. And if we cut it and get a baby Jesus, we have to like make food for our family like 11 days after the holiday. So that's like kind of how we celebrate those Reyes Magos. And for the second one is Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo is a celebration of Mexican victory over French forces at the Battle of Puebla on May 15, 1862. And this day we have a party like dancing, dressing, and all kind of food and snacks. And the last one, I won't say it's the last one, but we only got far to this one. And the last one is Independence Day. In Mexico is when we get to celebrate our freedom from Spain. Mexico and Spain went to war for Mexico, and because Spain was stealing resources from the war lasted up to 11 years just to get independence. Mexico ended up winning. The war went through 1810 through 1821. We celebrate with fireworks, parties, dances, music on September 19. Here are some pictures. These are our cultures, like I could say dressings. So for the ladies, we wear like, I don't really know how you call this. It's a dress that like just goes around. It's like a movement. And then mariachi bands are just like bands that play mariachis for parties and all that. And these are our type of foods that we eat and we get to eat at parties. And then I have this dance video. I don't know if you guys would like to see it.
Yeah, if you want to go ahead and share it, that is totally fine. That's perfect.
Okay. And so yeah, that's basically all.
Really, really good job, and I'll be honest, as I read through your assignment this week, I felt like I was learning quite a bit, and you did a great job like summarizing it, and I think teaching us a lot about your culture right there. So thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. McKinney, that is all 3 of my students, so we are on to you.
Okay, awesome. I see one of Walter left, but it's all good. Sierra is here. Sierra, I'm so excited about your project. The floor is yours. You'd like to speak about it, show us what you got. It's all good. You got it. Your choice.
Okay, so my project was about braiding. I have a mannequin here that I can show,
Oh,
and I also have slides. So one second.
let me make you. Oh, yep, you got it. Go ahead.
Okay, so nothing special really on the slides, but I'll just talk about it. So about the mannequin, I learned how to braid over quarantine because when we had our first lockdown, the hair supplies or like places that do hair, they weren't open. So I had to be able to do something with my hair so I could keep it healthy and moisturized and everything like that. So I was just practicing on myself one day and I just learned how to braid and then I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I just learned how to braid and now I think that that'll be like a side job for me as I get older, not like my main thing because I really enjoy it and I think it's fun to do. And braiding is like a really creative thing in like African Americans culture because you can do so many styles of braids and depending on like the parting and stuff and which way you braid it and everything like that. And it's just like a really versatile style. You can like it can be like a dress up type style or dress down if you just want to get your hair out of your face or for a proper event or anything. Um, yeah, that's about it.
That's awesome. So I have a couple questions. So I like how you brought the fact that quarantine kind of taught you things. I think a lot of us learned a lot of different things during quarantine. The first part, especially back in the day there last year. But is there a particular, you have a particular artist that you follow on Instagram or someone that you're really into and how they do their braids or how they do their braids for their customers or?
Not necessarily, but there are a lot of people my age that are doing braids and they like inspire me to do that too. And it really amazes me how they are at doing braids versus like older people who have been doing it for a while and how fast like people
Right.
my age are able to catch on and learn and stuff like that. So
Now, I think one thing that's crazy about braids, my mother, my sister, they had braids growing up for like 10 to 15 years, I believe. And it would take them a long time. So how long did it take you to braid the doll's braids? And then how long has it taken you before? What's the longest time you sat and got braids in your hair for braids in your hair?
so yeah, I do other people's hair. But the longest I've set for my hair was probably I'd say 10 hours. Um, I forget what the hairstyle was. I think it was like I don't have a picture, but it was just like box braids. So
Okay.
like individual braids or whatever.
Yep. You guys watch the movies and watch some TV shows while it was going on?
Yeah, definitely that because we would get bored. Or we could just talk to the client. That's always fun too.
Yes. Yes, I remember those days. Well, thank you, Sierra, so much for sharing that with us. And is this something you want to do in the future? Would you like to open up your own salon or?
I don't think I will. Like I said, I think I'll just do it like on the side, especially if I go to a HBCU college, because yeah, They're just like that there.
Yeah, you have a community of people there for sure that's going to need some braids. So I
Yeah.
got you. I'm right there with you.
Hmm.
Well, awesome. Well, that's it for my group. My two other individuals, they did turn their project, which is awesome, but they did not share. So thank you so much, Sierra. Thank you guys so much for everything. Mr. Hodson, for putting this together. Appreciate you.
Yeah, you guys are all amazing. Thank you for coming and sharing, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Yeah, you guys had really fantastic projects, to be honest. That was really impressive for doing all of this, like we said earlier, through the pandemic and everything. You all seemed like you chose something you're actually passionate about, and you could tell while you were presenting. So thank you very much.
Yeah, congratulations. Excellent job.
All right, everybody. Have a great Thursday afternoon, and we'll see you when we see you.
All right, take care.
See you all.
Mr. Hodson, those were pretty good projects.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was really cool. Thank you very much for setting up the Zoom and everything.
Oh, no problem. It's my pleasure. I have that flexibility of time in my day that you guys just don't have, going from Zoom to Zoom. So
I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your night.
yeah, you too. Take care, Clay.